So you've got to be doing something to get visibility. If not, you're banking on referrals, your business is going to die. And before you know it, it'll die. And it doesn't have to. Do the work. The speaking industry has changed more in the last maybe 3 years than it did in the last 30 years. If you're still doing what worked before, you're already behind, right? You can play catch up fast, and I'm actually going to break that down for you in today's video. You do not have to get left behind. Now, what I do know and I love about this industry is like it's evolving, it's changing. What used to work, let's say word of mouth and bureaus and occasional social posts, it no longer drives speaking business growth. It might have in the past, and believe me, it's a good thing it did back then, but now the game's changed. There are more people wanting to speak than maybe ever before. And the industry needs more people to speak. But just like anything, whenever you get into something where a lot of people are in there, you got to be good at it. And if you are good at it, then great at it in time, you float to the top. There's always going to be speakers as a need for events because humans, we love to get together and communicate. So today, I'm going to talk about what happens for those who are successful because the growth, it belongs to the speakers who build systems, not those who wait for referrals and wait for things that come down their pipeline, right? You have to go out and grab these people and pull them in and go book me for these things, right? So in this video, I'm going to show you what's changed and how to reposition yourself for consistent growth in this new era of speaking. So we're going to talk through 5 simple points, but I want you to take notes, pay attention to this because we're going to dive into it. Now, the first thing is you want to go from speaker to what I call as brand. Now, I hope these pens work. Sometimes they are funky, but one speaker, and you want to go from this to a brand. Now, there's a reason and an understanding I want you to grasp here. When you're a speaker, you do a thing. You speak, right? You just go and talk. I'm a speaker. What do you speak about? My life and some cool things and motivational, right? The market has shifted from personality driven to brand driven. And here's the difference between a speaker and a brand. A brand has a persona to it. It has a value to it. There's something strong to it. If you think about this, let's put together in your head 2 different maybe apparel companies. Let's say you use Nike and I don't know, Starter, right? Back in the day, they did the Starter jackets, right? If you think of the 2 differences, Nike's a brand that you have a persona behind to where it makes you feel a certain way. You're cool. I played for Oregon. We had these cool Nike get-ups and the gear looks fresh and they outfit these amazing teams like it looks amazing. Now, Starter was cool. It was a thing you felt cool about, right? But over time, the brand dissipated. Nobody wears it anymore, right? It doesn't have the same heaviness and weight to it. And I want you to grasp that when you have a brand, right? These are 2 brands. A brand has strength and power beyond just a person. A personality could be Phil Knight, right? He's a great personality. He's got a great book I've read called Shoe Dog right here. It's a personality, but you don't buy for Phil. You buy for Nike, right? And so if you want someone to book you as a speaker in front of their people, yeah, you better have personality, but we're not bringing you in because of your personal story. I'm not bringing you in to speak to my audience. Most people aren't because you do well with turning around and saying words, right? You have a brand that has a message, has a power, has a weight, has a belief within it that I want infused into my audience's heads and hearts. That brand carries weight. It'll carry well beyond that stage. Event planners, they look for a clear message, frameworks, and an experience, a brand experience. What is it you bring to the table that maybe nobody else is bringing to the table? What is it you do that nobody else is doing? What separates you in a way to where when people come across you as an individual, yeah, your personality shines through, but even more than that, what's the brand behind you? What is standing the test of time beyond your name? Because as you age and progress out, I say years from now, hopefully, what can be left behind? What messages left behind? What real tangible thoughts and ideas exist in that brand? Because the brand of Nike will live well beyond Phil Knight. I'm giving you an example here, right? And the idea is you even know brands that have lived well beyond that. There's brands that started for Henry Ford. A brand has lived well beyond, right? It's not the personality they want, it's the brand experience. And that's what makes you separate from a person who just goes, oh, I talk for a living. I am great at this. I've done these great things. Yeah, I know you've done that. What do you put together? What has come from that I can give to my audience, right? You're not just booked for who you are. You're booked for what you stand for. And what you stand for should be put together in a brand that can be put out well in front of you and last well beyond you. Point number 2, you have to go from this. From referrals, I never spell this word right, to, this is a simple one here, visibility, right? There's a difference. So when I say referrals, I'm saying that people, why do I spell ability? There we go. When I talk about referrals, I mean that you are hoping that somebody else goes out and likes you so much that they build your business. Is that bad? No, it's not bad. Word of mouth, okay to an extent. But truthfully, you need visibility. And visibility is something that you are in charge of, that you go out and go, hey, look at me, what I am doing something for visibility right now. Now, you'd be surprised. I am teaching this because I love to teach speakers, and I find that a lot of speakers benefit from what I talk to. That's why I do this. But here's the crazy part. I actually get vastly more outreach from meeting planners and bureaus from people going, hey, this guy, he can do this. He talks well and speaks and teaches off the cuff, but he's actually leading speakers. If that person's leading speakers, he must be a professional speaker or be able to do it as well. And I get more inquiries because I am out leading. I am putting myself in a position to be seen. I'm not waiting for somebody else to hopefully tell someone because they love me so much they share it. And I'm realizing that this ink back here may not be super visible. So my apologies. Next video, I'm going to change it up and do a different pen. But here's the idea. Planners discover speakers through social proof and content, not cold directories. You can live on a bureau, you can live on a specific profile site, and you can be doing things that live there, but are you sending people there? Are you doing something? Is your brand stand for something? Is there traction? Is there desire that moves people to check you and what you do out? See, consistent content equals consistent credibility. You've got to put things out. If you watch any of my social media, you see I'm consistently posting things. Me on stage, me teaching like this, reels, my life. And I'm actually going to amplify that even more here pretty soon because that's what turns into revenue, is the ability to go out and say, hey, where do I do this? And then you get brought in to do more of that. But if you aren't already doing it, they don't know you could do it for them. If you're not visible, you're invisible. And no one is going to benefit from you being invisible, not the people that deserve to hear your message, and definitely not you because then nobody books you. So you have to actually get past the hump of like, what if they don't like my video? What if I get rejected? What if I don't care? You're going to have people not like your video. You're going to have people reject what it is you do. I'm doing these things right now, outreach for TEDx. And interesting, like I never wanted to do TEDx until this year. Someone's like, hey, I'll help set you up. And we got somebody to come in. I got 2 TEDx's in like a 6 to 8 month period. They're going to both take place within a 3-week period of themselves in March, which is going to be cool. But here's the thing. When I was first thinking about doing this, I didn't want to do it. And I didn't know why. And I found that like the fun part and not so fun is while we send out hundreds of applications, we get a lot of rejections. A lot. And in my head, I'm going, I'm the guy that teaches this. They don't know me. I'm just a guy with an application. That's okay. But the rejections led to acceptances. It's the path. You got to go through and put things out there and get a little bit of feedback and maybe not be that great, and then eventually get good. And over time, you'll find yourself getting that groove and you start to kill it. And honestly, just so you know, you may send out 2,000 emails to 2,000 different places to hopefully speak. And you might out of that get 1 to 5 bookings. Is that bad? No. That's just the name of the game. It's a law of averages. If you do door-to-door call or cold calling, you know these numbers to be true. What makes you think you're any different? Especially when you haven't gone out there and pounded the pavement and done stuff to refine, right? So you've got to be doing something to get visibility. If not, you're banking on referrals, your business is going to die. And before you know it, it'll die. And it doesn't have to. Do the work. Hey, I hope you're enjoying this video right now. Now, I want to let you know that I developed a speaker quiz that reveals what your speaker type is, the strength of your type, and more importantly, how to capitalize on that type to build an impactful and income-producing speaking business. To get this quiz and take it and get the information you need, simply hit the link you see below in the description, or you can wait till the end of the video to head over and check it out. All right, that's it. Let's get back to it. Now, number 3, it's the fun one. This is the one that I think is very, you're going to watch this video. You're going to have fun engaging and get some information from it. But here's the next thing. You must go from inspiration to implementation. This is the one that I think is really undervalued and misunderstood. You can be inspired all day long with content. You can watch things, and there's so many cool things you can do, and there's so much possibility, and there's so much out there. But if you don't do anything with what you know, you might as well not know it. You know this to be true. Like there's a whole statement, I think it goes, the man or woman who can read and does not is no better than the man or woman who cannot read. Right? You can have all the stuff you want, but if you don't implement on what you know, you are going to fall short 100% of the time. Motivational talks, they're no longer enough. Organizations want measurable outcomes, and so you have to go from knowing what you're doing and implementing to get traction, but here's the other piece of inspiration to implementation. While it's about you taking action, it's also, can they take action from what you talk about? See, motivation is great, but I can motivate you. Get up, go get after it. You can do this, right? Motivate you, right? But then when you're sitting there and you're motivated and now it's time to do something, what do you do? But if there's not actual implementable steps, and you're just a person talking, your keynote, it has to feel like a mini transformation, not just a pep rally. You can't be out there just getting, go, you can do it. They've heard that. People have social media too. They scroll all day long and they see motivational videos they store and they save to never watch again. But if you're on stage, you can talk to the motivation and inspire at the same time, but give them marching orders, step by step, what we call a high fee framework in our coaching programs. You can give them something that becomes what's called next day impact. This transforms them. It helps them do something tomorrow. So when you're thinking about what you're creating and how you're doing something, always answer this question in your head with what you're talking about. What will this help them do tomorrow? Simple. What will this thing I'm talking to help them do tomorrow? Next day impact. And the reality is, it doesn't have to be some crazy in-depth 17-stage, multiple boxes. It doesn't have to be that. It can be step 1, step 2, step 3. But if they know what to do with that and why it's important and how to get it done, it's clear and clean. I can move on that. Actually, too complicated becomes worse. Because now it's like, oh my gosh, I could never get there. It's way too complicated. And so people don't follow. The idea is you got to be in a position where you're teaching them things they can act upon and take them past just inspiration and move heavy into implementation. Number 4, I'm going to talk about this. This is a business model structure, but it's more than just, we'll call it, number 4. This is going to be more than what you may think it is. It's essentially going from gigs, like a simple speaking gigs, right? So I say gigs to, how's the best way to frame this word? I'm going to call it an ecosystem, a business ecosystem. Now, an ecosystem is a culmination or a collection of different processes and systems and structure. And so the best speakers, they don't just deliver a talk, they build ecosystems of workshops, memberships, courses, books, trainings, right? It's more than just the talk. So you can do a speaking gig and leave it there on the table. Here's a gig, I gave my talk and I got out of there. But here's the problem. The people who really need a transformation, they're going to want more of you beyond that stage. And in fact, the company you came into, they may love what you just talked about, but they're going to hire somebody else to implement that process. Why not you? Why can't you be the coach, the consultant, the workshop leader that comes in and holds them by the hand and goes, you heard this amazing inspirational talk, and I gave you some good outlines, but I'm going to guide you step by step to the next piece, because that's where true transformation takes place. And so what happening is speaking, it's the front end. It's the systems and services create sustainability. The speaking becomes your way to generate leads for a different business. The way I explain this is you get paid to get paid, right? So if I go, hey, I'm in a position where I'm getting paid to deliver a speech, I'm getting paid money to go up on that stage, that's going to get me in a position to actually make more revenue, because now I have coaching, consulting, and workshops, right? But at the end of the day, most people just get done and they hop off. They're done. They're out of there, right? Doesn't make sense, because this is actually where most people make consistent, reliable revenue. But you can choose to get here by saying you are the one that's going to be paying money, ads and advertisers, organic revenue to get here, right? Paying money to be a coach, or you get paid money to be a coach, consultant, and do workshops. Which one would you want to do, right? You want to be in a position where you're actually going out and delivering amazingly on stage and killing it, and then turning that into, in fact, more revenue from coaching and consulting. So the big thing is you've got to pay attention and you got to adapt to this, or you're going to be disappeared. Someone's going to come in and do what you do with more on the backside and more ability to serve beyond the stage, and you're going to be sitting there hoping you make it work. Doesn't work that way. Now, number 5, which is the one you came here for, how to play catch up. How do you play catch up? I said you could do this at the beginning. How do you play catch up in this game? Well, I'm going to give you the simple pieces. First off, clarify your message. Make sure that what it is that you say out of your mouth is delivered in a way that is value laden. Like, you can't just say your story. No one books you for your story. They book you for your message. Your message is the thing that separates you. You can be in a topic area of, let's say, different topics. Could be motivation. Could be human resource management. It could be leadership. It could be change management. It could be resilience. It could be multiple different topics, right? But in each topic area, there should be a message that's yours that stands above the rest. As an area of, let's say, productivity, it's a topic area, how to be efficient, effective, and productive, right? You could choose to go with Darren Hardy has what's called the compound effect, or you can go with Tim Ferriss's 4-hour work week, right? There's different areas that allow you to go, hey, in that topic area, here's my message. It's unique and different, and you can sell that way better than something else that everybody else is already doing. Number 2 is you need to systemize your outreach. You can't just wake up and go, you know what? I feel like marketing today. That doesn't work because what happens, the business runs off how you feel, and that is irrelevant. How you feel doesn't matter. What is the business telling you to do today? If it says you have to go and hop into a place and extract a lead list and then email that list, follow up with past emails, have more meetings and conversations, create more content, what does your outreach look like? If it's not a system, it won't get done. If it's not done reliably, I'm talking moment by moment, it won't happen. Most folks don't realize that they do this. They get a speech and it's going well. They go, I got this booking, and they take all their energy and they stop doing outreach. They focus on the speech. Then they give the speech and it's amazing. And they hop off stage. They're unemployed. Well, what happened? They didn't have any more speeches lined up. They stopped the system of outreach because they got focused on something new. And then all of a sudden the business is dead before they know it. But the system should continue to run even when you do other things. And then you have to build digital credibility yesterday. Not just now, but like yesterday. You have to have content out there around what you talk about. You'll start to see for me this next new year a whole lot of more, but I do dark work. That's my brand, dark work. But for the most part, I have been riding the wave of my past brand of Makeshift Happen, and it's been smooth, right? But I've always wanted to fully step into dark work and leave Makeshift Happen in the background. It's interesting because the bureaus and companies that consistently book me know that message, but I've been easing out of it little by little. This next year is the time to scale like crazy. So you're going to see a ton of content on just dark work. I'm talking a whole lot of nuanced things, some cool stuff, but why? Because I want my digital footprint to be around dark work. So they go, I want this guy to talk. Oh, he also teaches speakers. That's our guy, right? And then from there, adopt tools and frameworks that amplify you without you burning out. All these things I'm talking to, you should have built into your actual business systems, not just the aspect of outreach, but when somebody reaches back out. What does that system look like to have a call, to close the deal, to get things lined up into your logistics, to get out to the speech, the prep, the pre-event, what should it look like in sound check, what happens after the speech? All those things should be part of a framework that allows you to smoothly roll and build and check boxes without having to frustrate yourself to remember it all. And what did I miss that one thing? No, systemize, boom, boom, boom. Just keeps on happening like clockwork. This is the era of intentional visibility and repeatable systems. That's the evolution of this industry. It's people looking at the AI tools, the technology tools, the CRM tools, the team they're working with, what these people are personally battling nowadays. That's the next wave. You got to get with the awareness of what's going on, because if you don't do that, you could be the absolute best skilled speaker on planet Earth, but never booked. Because a person who is not as skilled as you has the visibility, has the systems and repeatable processes running to make them stand out head and shoulders above you. So here's the thing. The game has changed, but the opportunities have never been bigger. If you want to play catch up, now is the time. And to get ahead, you can do these things if you apply the processes. If you want to learn how these new systems, these new rules, all this stuff is working right now, go to speaktofreedom.com and you'll find out all about what I do with our clients to help them get out of the midst of the crazy and into the point of being a successful speaker. I've enjoyed talking to you. Catch me in the next video or head to speaktofreedom.com. If not, hope you enjoyed this. See you next video.